In science, we usually discuss physical quantities. A physical quantity is any physical property of a material or an object that can be measured using an instrument or which can be calculated from other physical measurements. For example, I can measure the length of a book using a ruler. I can measure the length of the table using a ruler. But if I want to measure the area of the table, I need to, take the length and the breadth. So I'm going to calculate it from other physical measurements. Examples of physical quantities are mass, time, length, area, volume, velocity, and so on. There are two basic classes or types. There are two basic types of physical quantities, depending on whether we only mention their magnitude or we mention their magnitude or describe their magnitude and direction. First one is scalar quantity, and the next is vector quantity. A scalar quantity is a physical quantity which has magnitude but no direction. Every time we discuss a scalar quantity, we only always talk about their sizes. We don't talk about their direction. When you stand on a weighing scale to take your mass is given in kg. There's no direction stated. Length too is measured in meters, no direction. Area is in meters squared. Volume is, we only describe the size of the volume of an object or a container. We don't talk about its direction. Density is the property of a substance which only has magnitude but no direction. Magnitude means size, how big it is. We only talk about how big or small each of these quantities is. We don't mention their directions. But the second type here is vector quantities. A vector quantity is a physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction. A vector quantity has both magnitude and what? Direction. Take note of those two keywords. Now, examples of vector quantities are weight. The weight of an object acts downward in the direction of gravity. So we talk about how heavy an object is, and we also describe its weight as a force acting downwards from the object. Displacement is distance in a given direction. So displacement has both magnitude and direction. Force also has direction. A force can be a push or a pull, depending on the direction. Acceleration has direction. Velocity has both magnitude and direction. Magnetic force has direction. Momentum has direction, and so on and so forth. So those are some examples of vector quantities.